are you this morning? Today is November 20th and we are drawing connection or painting connection. Connection is the word today for our Gouache-vember, month of Gouache-vember. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys up here to see who is here with us this morning. It is Thursday, which means there's lots going on Thursdays. I am part of Draw Brighton and I haven't been able to make too many of their sessions, but I know they have a portrait session in the afternoon on Thursdays or evenings if you're over in England. I think it's 7 p.m. UK time, so that's 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I may try and make that today. I haven't got very far in cleaning up my studio, and so I'm hoping to get that done as well. And it is Thursday, so it's art hang party this evening. Melissa Martin, she is on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern, and everyone's drawing vegetables. Hi Joanne, how are you? Love vegetables, and so I'm kind of looking forward to drawing and painting some vegetables this evening. This is my image for connection, and it is La Nonna. I have drawn La Nonna already. Do I have La Nonna here? This was in Italy. We did a pasta making course, and La Nonna is the lady right here with her son, and so I wanted to do a connection piece with these two. And I also love the flour and the semola because those are the two that we used while we were making the pasta. So we all made pasta. Here you can see she's made her tagliatelle, and that was hand cut. I don't have a really long, look how long her her rolling pin is. It was really, they're really long. They must be at least, I don't know, 2 feet, 24 inches at least. Anyway, so she's going to be on one side, and then I was either going to do these cats as connection as well, or I mean, the Italy side, it really doesn't matter. I was really looking for something that had the colors. So actually I'm going to do this scene here, which is in Montalparo, and it's a beautiful, beautiful area, which we were sketching at night and during the day. There are still spots open to come with us in June, and unfortunately 2 ladies have pulled out, so there's more spots now. There's 4. So please, if you are thinking about coming to Italy with me, I have the link in the description in this video, so please take a look at it. Ask any questions you want. If you want to jump on a Zoom call, we can do that. I know that it's a big trip, but it is amazing. So hi Reb, hello Meryl, good morning, hi Louise. And just quickly also, well, maybe I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to get started, but then I do want to talk about our Hobonichi club that Louise and I have started. And it's just a once a month. If you enjoy journaling, you don't have to have the Hobonichi per se. But it is for people who are dedicated to wanting to have that year of journaling. So, you know, it's serious. Well, Louise has been serious for a few years of doing it, but I definitely want to be more consistent on a daily basis. And I'll show you my journals a little bit down the road as we get painting. So I'm going to use my Schminke, and I have Da Vinci because my Schminke is running low here, and so I have to refill that, but I'm not sure. I don't think I have any more schminke here, so I think I have to do a refill. Maybe reorder some. This is very, very messy, my palette, but I don't really want to throw away all this paint. Good morning, Maria. How are you? All right, so I'm gonna oh, and I also, if you didn't see, I have, if Nanette's here, she's not gonna love this little graphic that I made because I'm using so many different fonts, but it's okay. I get a pass because I'm not a graphic designer, I think. But I am releasing Birds in December today. If you're part of the BSA club, you get to add images to that Padlet, which I think everyone here is. And it's Birds in December is a celebration of where our BSA club members are from this year. So we are going to be finding birds within those places. And I think we kind of, well, I decided that I think I'm going to do a concertina or a zine for each day. And I think I'm just going to work with watercolor and pen. Or markers and pen, or something that is I can have in my purse if I go somewhere for the day and I can work on it. And it's going to be a tiny little booklet that has more information about that one bird than just an image of the bird. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, so I'm going to just take a screenshot of this so you guys don't get seasick with me going back and forth, so I can just go from here to here. These are my two images that I'm going to be working from. And yeah, I want to get started with La Nonna and her son. Also today, and I haven't looked at the reference photos, is Visual Arts Passage Drawing Hive. If you haven't done that before, that's also a great drawing session. Okay, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to crop La Nonna a little bit because she is, and I'm using this quite watery, liquidy, because I just want to get something on very quickly. I like the Barilla flower pack. I don't think we can get Barilla flour here. Maybe in a specialty Italian store. And I still haven't made fresh pasta since I got home, and I said I was going to. Maybe I can do that this weekend. Need to work a little bit quicker because I have a lot to do in this one. And this one here, I have the sky, so I'm going to get that in right now. This is not the right blue for the sky. I feel like the Schminke blue is better for the sky. My very messy palettes, I apologize. I'm hoping to get some more palette paper or just to clean off this this palette because everything is becoming a little bit muddy. And my gouache is drying up a little bit, but it's always easy to reactivate it. So, you know, don't think it's to throw away. You can just reactivate it. All right. It's very dark. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Jen. How are you? I'm sure you guys are busy. Hang on, is it Thanksgiving this weekend, today for you guys, or is it next week? I always get confused with which, like, is it always a certain day, or is it the third Thursday in the month? I don't know how you guys do your calculations of Thanksgiving, because we've already had ours way back in October. The only thing I know is that you have your Thanksgiving means Black Friday straight after. Next Thursday, okay. Does everything close in Thanksgiving, or do things stay open? What happens? Is it a national holiday? Oops. Okay, I'm going to go back to La Nonna and see if there's anywhere that I need to put some lighter blue. Not very light. Are you guys traveling for Thanksgiving, or do people all come to your house? What happens in your world? I do like the holidays for that reason. It's a good excuse to stop, pause, and see people. Or just to be with family. Susan says it's a national holiday. Many businesses close on Thursday and Friday. Stores open on Friday, of course. Okay. So it's basically holiday shopping day. And what's the story behind Black Friday? There is a story, right? Or there is a reason for Black Friday. Oh no, I went over her hand. which I think it's a little bit like a lot of our holidays. The significance gets lost and it's become very commercialized. Okay, seeing if there's anything in this. I could put a much darker color up here for the shadows. I usually go with the lights first, but I think I'm going to go with the darks and just color lightly the lighter areas this time. Try and keep that brilliant sunshine feel. Susan says, I think it's just the beginning of the holiday shopping craze. But there was a reason why they called it Black Friday. Sorry, I'm asking you guys because I know that you have access to to internet services that can probably tell us why Black Friday became Black Friday. All right, then we come down further and there's a little window down here. And one here as well. I'm not going to put that one in because I need to put the tree in and behind the tree first. Jennifer says, we never go shopping on this weekend. We go for a hike instead. And Reb says, yes, Jennifer, agreed. Yeah, because sometimes I feel like people mark up the products for Black Friday weekend and you feel like you're getting a deal, but you're actually not getting a deal. Like, so I needed some, you know, the double-sided sticky tape. And I was going to, I thought I bought it, but I didn't. I bought the refill packs. And I'm like, how does this work? And then I saw on the cover, it said refills. So I went onto Amazon and it was something like $26 for the tape dispenser with one tape in it. And then I went to Michael's, and which is like just down the road, and I can go and pick it up. And I know Michael's isn't Canadian, but we don't have any Canadian options. And it said that it was like $8. So I'm like, what are they doing? They're marking everything up just for this weekend. So I think you have to be careful with your shopping on Black Friday and double check that you're not being scammed. Okay, this is very yellow, but I'm going to put it down anyway and then come back and add some peaches. Like very yellow. Okay, his face cannot be this yellow because his face is much darker. And I will also give Nona a little bit of warmth too. Reb says the whole concept is gross and there's a lot of companies on my boycott list, so I will not be partaking. Well, I think that's good of you to stay strong and not participate in that. Well, because and then you've got Cyber Monday, which is pretty much the same thing, but just online shopping on Monday. Okay, I'm going to use this color also for a little bit of the building, but just small amounts. Still keeping some of the white underneath, but just creating some texture on the brick. So this is something that I would probably do with a Neocolor instead of paint, but because I'm just using gouache this month. Okay, there's some of this color also in the distance, in the fields. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you? Susan says, agree, Reb. I stay far away. We're talking about Black Friday and the hype that there is with it, Carolyn. And a lot of the group are saying that they don't participate in the whole Black Friday hype and the shopping and ooh, that's so green. Okay, let's put this behind. No, there's a couple of plants back here. And then also here, there's some beautiful big trees. Just going to block those in. And then we need to go darker for the landscape, so a little bit more blue as well in the distance. Bluey greens. I need a smaller brush. Carolyn says, oh, it's awful, but the national parks used to have a cool program on that day. I think, yeah, it's similar to here in Canada. When there's holidays, a lot of the museums are free, and well, that's Canada Day, but I do like that when, you know, when they open up things for the public. But I guess that's not happening with you guys in national parks. Reb says, it's Craftmas or Thriftmas for me. I love that. Not the right brush. I need a smaller brush for the leaves, but I do want to get some flecks of dark areas on here so that I can block out the lighter areas in a minute. Okay. Let's just clean up this building, the edge. And a few there's some blue in my yellow. A few of the distant, oh, they're definitely a little bit more on the peachy side. The fields back here, actually they should probably be more ochre. And lighten up the top of the trees. Oh, we're doing really well with time today. Well, so far anyway. Mind you, it's very loose right now, so we still have lots to do. Carolyn says, sorry, state parks opt outside program. Oh. So did they open it up for people, Carolyn, for people to come as families and enjoy the parks? Okay, getting the road in here. Definitely need to mute this one down. This purple doesn't need to be as purple. See, this is why not getting rid of your gouache is a great idea, because there's a lot of colors on here that I can just reactivate. I know it probably doesn't help you with color mixing, but it's just, it really is a shame to just get rid of a palette if you have a lot of paint mixed on there. Jen says, what kind of tray container do you have your paints in? This is one of those plastic, I'm making sure that there's no really runny paint. Oh, there is. These are those plastic ones which have like a gel, they have a gel top to them. And I've been using these for, probably, well, since July, beginning of July. So they're a little bit crusty, but that doesn't sound nice, does it? But you can just reactivate with water and just keep filling. Mine are very messy. Probably people are looking at it going, how does she make those colors? But they are great for even if you have acrylic gouache, because then you're not, they're staying wet. I have one that I have acrylics in, one of them, and then I have different types of gouache. And they're just lovely because you don't have to put as much paint on your palette. So I just use my palette for mixing and then use those to house my paints in. And it seems to be working much better than any other system, which I didn't really have another system. So yeah, it definitely is. It definitely works better to have like your paints, so I don't have to squeeze them out and waste tubes of paint, because I feel like that's what I was doing a lot of, and I did not enjoy that. I mean, you can reactivate it on the palette paper, but it just wasn't the same. Okay, so this can be darker here, the shadows and everything. Shadows here, and then on this little pavement area. I don't think, it really doesn't have to make 100% sense. It just has to make sense to me, really, and the memory of where it was. So as long as I recognize it. Okay, a couple of street signs over here. I'm just going to put the shadows underneath them. And now going back to La Nonna, I'm going to mix up a much darker purpley brown. Maybe I should have started with the blue. Jen says, I have so many dried up trays of gouache. Where do you find it? On Amazon, unfortunately. I can put the link in our chat. It's been in the chat a few times, but you may have missed it. A lot of people ask. I think it was either Sarah who suggested it. I know Lou was using one for the longest time. yeah, it's been really handy. I got people to take the smaller ones, the round ones, because those are always also handy too. But I do like the longer trays. And I don't know where my round one is. It's somewhere. Soon I'll be able to like have everything at my fingertips because I'm going to be organizing my room again. Good morning, Piper. Piper just arrived. She just came in. Okay, we have the rolling pin. I think I need to make the rolling pin a little bit wider. So I'll do that. And then we have the packet here of Barilla flour. I've given her, the Nona, a little bit more of an apron. Joanne says, the Art and Go Nomad works for me at the moment. Oh, I don't know that one. What does that look like, Joanne? Okay, I'm going to put the De Checo semola flour, which is what they use. It's almost like it dries up the pasta so it doesn't get as sticky. So they do a little bit of semola, a little bit of farina flour, and then they have the semola, which they throw on the bench when you're rolling the pasta. Oh, my water is so dirty. Okay, so Lanona is holding the pasta here. I want to put that in. And then the actual pasta on the rolling pin. Let's see, I should have done this first with the light color, definitely, because it's not, it's just picking up a lot of other colors. And then get this board down here. And he has jeans on, but they're a little bit gray, so I'm just going to block that in over here. Get some color in behind here. Oh, that's her hand. Whoops. And lighten up the board slightly. And then I have to correct over here. And I have some whitey gray color on my brush, so I'm going to get that on her hair. should have made his head round because he doesn't have any hair on the top of his head. These little bits take more time. Darken the side of her face. Station Aquarelle. I bought it in a local shop. Maybe you can show us tomorrow morning if you're on tomorrow morning, Joanne. That would be great. I'd like to see what that looks like. So you use it for gouache, Joanne? I know that you're going into December with gouache as well. If you weren't here yesterday morning, listen to the replay because you'll get a little bit more of an insight of what everybody is doing in Birds in December, for Birds in December. It was a really great chat about ideas, what people thought we could do. Oh, Reb, did you post your little prototype? Maybe you're keeping it secret for December. Reb said she was working on a prototype already. Oops. And I did put out a Luma link yesterday. You should have got it in your email. I will put it onto the paint and draw sessions as well, but you should have got an email. I saw some people had registered Saturday at, I say Saturday at 3 p.m. We will be having a paint and draw session, and it was going to be a surprise, but I think I'll let you know. So using patterns, I thought we could create some tags or Christmas cards, like handmade Christmas cards, just with patterns. So I suggested, I've got some patterns which I will be sharing with you just before the session, just to give a bit of inspiration, because some people find it difficult to come up with patterns. So I have a few elements that will help you with that. And yeah, so we're just going to be spending an hour and a half working on painting up some little sweet designs or patterns that you can then cut out some Christmas gift tags for gifts. So it's adding to the craftmas for sure. It'll be fun, but bring some craft paint, you know, something that you can get messy with, have fun with, because then once you cut things out for the tags or for the Christmas cards, you really don't need to be really neat and tidy about it, unless that's your thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna find all my craft paint and get some really nice loose patterns done in our session, and then I can cut tags out of those. His ear needs to be out a little bit more. And I do need to put a beard on him. Okay, I'm going to correct the back behind the leaves. I want it more of a grey. Let's move this over to here. Oh, and before you go, I do want to chat a little bit about Louise and I have started a Hobonichi club. I've been inspired by Louise and her journaling, and it's not really like, it doesn't have to be visual journaling. It's more about writing and keeping up with, you know, your dailies, as in your planning dailies, which I fall back into. Basically, I lose track of a lot of things. I do write things on paper and they're not all in one place. I don't necessarily miss appointments, but I feel like it's not like my digital calendar. I'm not good with digital and I love analog. So she showed me a couple of systems that she uses. So I have invested in some planners. They are the Hobonichi, but you don't have to join our Hobonichi club if you are a planner naturally and you have your own system. That's absolutely fine if you want to join. But it's more about staying on track and, you know, pushing those ideas out. Once a month we will meet and see how everybody's going, if everybody's keeping up with, you know, your daily. It's things like making sure I exercise and drink water, and for business, making sure that I push my advertising and posts out there and things like that. So it's kind of an all-inclusive planner for me. If you watched, or if you haven't watched Louise's video, which she posted on YouTube, she has a lot of planners for different things. Mine's just going to be a daily, which may turn into almost more like a scrapbooking page and inspiration and putting all my ideas down, which I don't necessarily want to share on social media every day. So that's why we started this club, so that we can just keep each other accountable, and it's nice for others to come in as well. So but Louise has a lot of different planners for different things, so go on her YouTube and have a look. She talks about what she uses them for and which ones she's enjoyed, because she's been doing this for a few years now. So she is definitely more experienced in this whole world than I am. I know that Reb, you do a lot of planning, you do more visual journaling, which is lovely. And mine may turn into a little bit of a mix, and I may share some things of it, but it will be more personal for sure. so many planners. So yeah, so I got the week's mega, which I've already tabbed up, but this is going to be my just jotting down what I did during the day or what I have to do. So it there's also a month in view, which you can use also for tracking like birthdays and things like that and appointments. And then in the back, these are all notes, which is going to be really handy. I have put like birthdays, so I'm going to jot down everybody's birthdays so I don't miss any. And then at the back here I have BSA club, so I've actually mapped out already next year, and I will be sharing that with you guys. I've done a month-to-month theme, but I haven't done a month-to-month list. The prompt list I would love to like work on with you guys, and you know, throw ideas around. I think it's nice to collaborate in that. And then this one is my daily, and this is the Hobonichi Techo cousin. And as you can see, I got some new washi tape. I do like this washi tape, and I have decorated my cover, and I'm going to be focusing a little bit about, like, for me, I'm going to be diving into my family history, and so those are things that, you know, I don't know if they really need to be shared at all with the public, but it's more of a personal planner. And then the dailies, you get a whole page for each day, so I could draw or stick things in, or, you know, put in tickets if I go to an exhibition, or just, it's for me to have memories that I'm going to be able to keep and not have everywhere sprawn across like my whole house. So hopefully these are going to keep me a little bit more organized. We'll see. I will keep you up to date with how things are going. All right, let me just, there's a couple of things that I do want to change, and I'm going to go back to here and just add a few little changes in the building here. So thank you, Joanne. Oh, Joanne says, I thought you used that too. Is it the small round one that you were talking about? I don't know if it's just underneath here. I put it somewhere the other day and it's disappeared. My little round one. It's the one that I took to Italy. Things disappear a lot in my room. I cannot wait to like get it all organized. It has completely disappeared. It's the one that has like a little water bucket underneath. Is that the one, Joanne? Okay, let's get, okay, one thing. This wall actually comes out a little bit. And then some of the windows don't need to be as dark. So I'm going to also fix that. See, there's so much paint now left on my palette that I would not want to throw away this palette at all. So just a reminder that today is Thursday, which means there's Drawing Hive at 7. It's more focused on faces and portraits. Draw Brighton has a session at 2 p.m. Eastern, a Drawing Hive with Visual Arts Passage is at 7 p.m. and Melissa has a vegetables session, which will be very fun, on her Art Hang Party YouTube. So make sure to get lots of art done today and pass by. Thursday's always a great day for, you know, practicing new material, like using different materials that you don't usually use, making marks in sketchbooks. What is everybody up to today? Before you leave, let me know what you're up to. Okay, that went a bit muddy. You can see the difference between leaving it white and just putting some color over the top, or adding, because I was correcting, you can see that it gets a little bit muddy looking when you just fill it in. So I do like that leaving the white underneath just gives it a little bit more of a glow. Just finished lunch. Louise has just finished lunch and hoping to paint this afternoon. Gouache Vember catch up. Nice. I'm loving seeing all your little minis in your new Substack post. That was nice to see them. Okay, and let's just get the rolling pin. And my colors are a little bit off today. I think I really do need to just clean my palette. Well, not get rid of it, but just start afresh, because I think that can change a lot of things. Okay, Joanne says yes, on top, kind of roundish. Yeah, probably not completely round. I think it's the same one. Anybody else up to anything exciting today? We'll see you tomorrow in Zoom if you're part of our Substack BSA club, and if you go pinned page, I will be posting the birds in December so that you can get started if you're in our club, populating it. If you're not in our club, you can just have a look at the the birds, or at the states, because we're not, it's up to you what birds you choose. Okay, a little bit more white here, just where the light is, and okay. I know that I didn't do much with the packets here, and I do want to get a little bit more flour on the surface. See, you could just keep going with this. The water is so dirty. Okay. Amy says, wondering if I'm seeing two different paintings. Came back to lots of details and a time warp, definitely. Just contrast, it's just that, you know, that little, a final little contrast that putting that in right at the end, it really doesn't take much. That's why I released that video to those of you who were needing to see how just 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes on a piece, and you can bring it to life. I'm going to use this though, this lighter. I've got a lot of paint on here, so I can use that up here. Thank you. Everybody, thank you. SD, thank you. Thanks, Amy. Have a really good day, everybody. And I will see some of you in Art Hang Party later, or if you do Draw Brighton, I may be able to squeeze that one in. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but thanks for joining this morning, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.